Good morning from Guayanilla, Puerto Rico. So I've been putting some video together of Crisalida and my trip from Fort Lauderdale up to Watch Hill, Rhode Island. And in doing so, I read some comments that somebody had made a comment that said that I spend too much time with the camera facing me. They want to see more sailing and more systems and that sort of thing. And you know what? Absolutely right. Unfortunately, I am stuck on the boat for a while trying to make up for lost time. Being stuck at sea here at work. But when I get back to Paquita, I'm going to try to do a little bit better. I think with this microphone, when I turn the camera away from me, so that guy will be happy that he doesn't have to look at me all the time. The camera doesn't come in, I mean the microphone doesn't pick up as well. But anyway, yeah, when I get back on Paquita, I really want to start to develop a better way of filming. It took a while, I've said this before in other videos, but it took a while in New York to finally get a system down, and once I got it down, it was really easy to make content that you guys liked and was easy for me to produce, and it just flowed really well. And I haven't figured that out in on SVP, on the sailing channel yet. I'm trying to. It's a work in progress, and I'm trying to. Unfortunately, because, well, I mean, for example, this particular trip going from Florida to Rhode Island, on the back end of a first tropical storm, with just me and Crisalida had never been on a boat other than just sailing little day sails with me. So this was her first big offshore passage. So to say that my hands were full might have been kind of an understatement, but it's also a bad excuse. There's a lot for me to film. I've been making promises for over a year that I was going to start doing some systems videos for you and that sort of stuff, and I haven't done that yet. And you know, it always seems like I start off with 3 weeks off, and then something happens and I have 2 weeks, and I only have 1 week, and then in the 1 week I have like 10 days worth of work I have to get done or whatever. And so I haven't had the time to do the stuff that I need to do, but I'm going to try to change that. I really want to start making a better push on this particular channel, on both channels, but especially this one. I think this one has so much potential to grow, and it's only 1/10 of the size of my Tim BSC channel. So I do want to give you better content, and I want you to be able to see other things than me all the time. So I apologize. As I was putting this video together, I realized, oh my god, this guy is so right. This whole video is just me talking to the camera, and it really seems odd because unfortunately you guys should be seeing what I do, not having me tell you what just happened. And so I apologize for that. So if you guys are looking for better quality video and all that sort of stuff, don't watch this one. This is just going to be 20 minutes of us coming up the coast, and most of it is motoring because we didn't have the right wind and we were under a time constraint and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, good videos are coming. I promise. From now on, the content that I want to shoot should be. I have a plan to try to make it better. Hopefully it will. Hopefully you'll agree with that. But until then, if you guys, there are some of you that just want content and they say, Tim, we just want to watch anything you put out there. Well, strap in. We got 20 minutes of stuff for you. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Always, I'll see you on the one. Hello and welcome. I'm Tim, and this is SV Paquita. Come along as I stumble through trying to make a transition from being a lifelong professional mariner to switching over to the recreational side, learning how to sail, and hopefully one day getting ready to sail around the world. Right now, we're in the Caribbean, getting ready to come back to New England pretty soon, so strap in, come aboard, and hope you like what we have to show you here. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and you know what? If any of you are wondering why I'm wearing a hoodie sweatshirt in the tropics, it's because we're at anchor and I have to sit in the wheelhouse all the time, and the air handler with the super big ACs are blowing on the chair all the time, and I freeze to death up here. So that's why I have this on. All right, back to the video. Good morning. So our adventure begins. It's just me and Crisalida, beautiful SV Paquita. After being in a COVID lockdown over in Quito, Ecuador, we finally got back and we wanted to get underway right away, but unfortunately we had to wait because there was our first tropical storm was blowing through right over the top of us. So now that happened on Saturday, now it's Sunday, and the idea is that we get out, and because of the cyclonic action, the backside of the storm is going to have the wind blowing, you know, it blows counterclockwise, so it's going to be coming down on us like on I'm trying to wait for this bridge to open up and talk to you at the same time. Anyway, it'll be going from the north to the south, and we need to go from the south to the north along with the Gulf Stream. Anytime when there's wind going against the tide or the current or the Gulf Stream in this case, you get horrendous conditions. Not to mention, it's hard to sail when you're sailing into the wind. So our hope is that we're going to motor for a while, and when this whole thing goes through, or as it's going through, it's probably going to suck all the wind out as well. So having it suck all the wind out also means that we get to I'll bring you around so you can see the bridge opening, the 17th Street Bridge here. But yeah, that also means that we'll get going and have to motor a lot. There probably won't be much sailing on this trip. So we just stopped to top off with fuel, and we got 6.5 gallons of diesel. Remember, we hold 160. I just wanted to make sure that we had every drop in there possible that we could get because of the because we're going to be motoring so much. So now we're off. The bridge is open. We're headed for the span. Let me crank her up a little bit more so they don't yell at me. So it says right now we have 1,108 miles to go. So wish me luck. Okay, so it's day number 1. We are 10 miles into our journey with 1,099 miles to go. Woo! Almost said that wrong. Anyway, we're making like just a little over 7.3. I don't think we found the stream yet. I've been trying to angle offshore. Wanted to stay close enough to shore so we can still have some internet for a little while, because we're going to lose it for a long time. But anyway, once we get in the stream, that speed should increase. But to tell you what was happening, after we lost the boom, I'm going to try to do this from inside here. So when we lost the boom and I had to change the toggle, you can see that thing with it's called a boom vang. It's a little piece that goes down there. The ears got broken off of that. So luckily my friend Steve ordered new parts for me, and they came riveted on. I mean, the old ones were riveted on, so I had to drill them out, put the new ones in, and I didn't have a rivet gun, so I screwed them in. I tapped some screws and drilled out holes and tapped some threads in and screwed it in. So the boom vang is in place. We're all set. The only problem is, as you can see, there isn't much wind, and that of the wind that's there, I think it's 6 knots true. It's coming from right about over here, so it's kind of coming at us right now. But we knew that when we started. We're really crushed for time right now, so we're trying to make best speed that we can, because I have to get back to work, and luckily Captain John is working over a week for me. But I gotta get Crisalida has a lot of people, a lot of her clients with hair that continues to grow, and they've been calling her saying, when are you coming back, when are you coming back? So she has to get back to cut people's hair and dye their hair and do all that sort of stuff that she does. So she's got to get back for that. I've got to get back to the tugboat and go to work. But that probably won't be for another week because we have, like I say, a little over 1,000 miles to go, and 1,100 miles to go, and so I'm thinking we'll see what happens. But the models I look at keep suggesting that we probably won't get an opportunity to put up the sail for another 2 or 3 days. So we're going to be running on the iron jib. There's Crisalida. She's hanging back there. We both have our flotation devices on. We have the PLBs, the personal locator beacons, built into these. At night, we're always clipped in, and we'll be standing watches here at night, so we can each get a little bit of sleep. Crisalida and I finished up a whole safety brief this morning, where we went over what would happen if I got incapacitated, who she'd have to call. And we have a number of things you can do. Obviously, you can call on channel 16, but if we're too far offshore and that doesn't work, I showed her how the SOS button works on the Iridium Go, and how the EPIRB works. Hopefully none of that will happen. But she's did that, and then we had a little fire and boat drill, so we talked about how we fight fires aboard Paquita, and how to dewater the boat if we were taking water on, and how to abandon ship. So hopefully all of that was just good knowledge, always good to talk about, but hopefully we won't be doing any of that this trip, or any trip for that matter. But anyway, as you can see, there's the skyline of Fort Lauderdale falling behind us. You can say we've got about a little over 10 miles that we've got done so far. Oh, here's some more over here. But anyway, we're off. So it's kind of good that we're leaving this time right now, because by tonight, when the sun goes down, we'll be far enough offshore, so we'll see hopefully a lot less recreational traffic, and that's something that we like to keep an eye out for. And so nice that we're leaving in the morning, and hopefully the further that storm gets away from us, the less the winds will be coming right ahead of us. So like I say, in 3 or 4 days we should have the wind behind us. That's what we're hoping for. All right, that's it. Later that night. Well, it's 6:55 on our first night, and if you remember, we got out of the, well, you probably didn't remember, I don't think I was filming then, but we got out of the Fort Lauderdale sea buoy at 7:45, and it's just about 7 now, and we've done 100 miles. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but in this Gulf Stream, and we're running on the iron jib because the wind is still coming right at us, and it's only 6 knots worth of wind, but enough to stand the Gulf Stream up, so it's a little sporty. But anyway, we if we're able to do this tomorrow, we may have a SVP record on our hands, doing over 200 miles in a 24-hour period under motor too. And for those that don't know, when we have good wind, we sail faster than we do when we motor. But we don't have a good wind, and the bottom is real sleek, and everything's all done because we just came out of the shipyard. So we're making good time. Cristalida's over here. Say hi, Chris.
Hello.
She's hiding from the sun. Anyway, that's it. So I guess we have 1,010 miles or so to go, and the miles are ticking away. Should have a nice little sunset here. I was able to take a little bit of a nap before, so see how our first night watches go. Anyway, that's it from here. Hopefully the wind will come around, lengthen it out. It's funny, I did a recently on my Timby at Sea channel, I did a thing, a video talking about period and about how long it takes the waves to be spaced out, and when you drive into them, that's why people say fair winds and following seas. If you go with the direction, it stretches the period out. If you go into it, it shrinks the period. And so right now we're just going bang, 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 and it's not horribly uncomfortable. It's just it'd be nice if the wind came around. Anyway, that's probably not going to happen for another day or two. But anyway, that's it for now. See ya. Okay, it's day 2, and we are 236 miles in with 847 miles to go. Today's a record-breaking day for me. There's a class of boats that we don't really qualify for, but there's a club, they call it the 200-mile club. And that's usually those big, sleek, really fast sailboats that can cover 200 miles in 24 hours. That's a major, that's going from the JV to the varsity. Anyway, this is a heavy cruiser, so this isn't really designed to do that. But with the help of a very powerful Gulf Stream and a super slippery bottom, we've been able to do 8.5, 9, 9.5, even sometimes 10 knots. And we did 213 miles under engine. Now you might say, oh, that's cheating, you're using your engine. Well, yeah, it is, except for the fact that usually we sail faster than we motor. So in other words, our best speeds are when we're sailing, when we have good wind. Well, we don't have any useful wind right now. Right now the wind has just come off our bow and come to our beam a little bit. So I'm able to put up the main to keep us from rolling back and forth. We're getting kind of sloppy because we're in the Gulf Stream trying to utilize the effect of the Gulf Stream. The problem is that the seas are all confused and the boat slides all around. So putting up the mainsail really steadies everything up. But Crisalida is doing well. Say good morning, Crisalida. I'm so proud of her. This is her first ocean passage, and she is handling like a trooper. And it's been a very bumpy ride. We've been banging into the seas, and of course the motor's been running, so it hasn't been really sailing at all. And up until just a few minutes ago when I put up the mainsail there, we were moving around quite a bit. She hasn't gotten sick. You know, it's normal to go down below and not feel your best. We also have, because we were taking water over the bow when we were bashing into it earlier, we went and all the hatches are closed, so it's super warm downstairs. So I think it was like 88 degrees downstairs, and so going down there just for even a few minutes is enough to really get one's stomach turned up. So she is totally fine here, and made herself into a little cocoon. But I'm so proud of her. She's standing watch by herself so I can get some sleep, and hanging out here, and so all is good. So that's the update from here. I'm hoping, I just downloaded the weather again, and it looks as though there's a slight chance this afternoon we might be able to kill the engine, but I think it's really going to happen probably tonight. Tonight we'll hopefully be able to get the wind that we need to kill the engine and keep... See, this is the thing, is that you're supposed to cruise and just follow the good weather, and I haven't been able to do that with my life yet. Unfortunately, I've always seemed to be behind the gun as far as time goes. I'm always I gotta get somewhere. I'm already a week late for work, so guys working over for me, so I have to go. So it'd be nice to, as soon as we could start sailing at even 5 knots, just go and take our time and be leisurely about it. But I gotta get there so that my buddy John can get home, and so we'll probably motor sail until we can sail fast, as fast or close in the same ballpark, and then I'll shut the engine down. All right, that's it for now. See ya. So this isn't that fun. It's 4:40 in the afternoon. Coming up on 298 miles down, with a little over 800 to go, and the wind is not doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to come around to the side of us. We to give you an idea where we are, we're up off of Charleston, South Carolina. So we're kind of made the turn from Florida, you know, Savannah and all that. And the wind is directly on our nose, and that's going against the Gulf Stream, so it's stacking the seas way up. We've had to reduce speed just for a little bit of comfort for ourselves, but we're still managing 7.5 knots. And but we're getting rolled around. The camera never shows it, but we're getting rolled around pretty good here. And, like I say, it's less than fun. We had some sails out to stabilize us, but with a wind right on our nose, it doesn't even stabilize. It just beats the rig up. Here comes a good one here. Look at this. We go up. Maybe I can show you some of this. What it looks like from behind us here. These things never seem to show with the camera, but some really big seas. And it's not dangerous, it's just uncomfortable. Oh, here we go. But the sun's out. I had a nice dinner planned for tonight. Gonna make some nice tortellinis. But that was before all this started happening. But if the wind does come behind us, I got a feeling it won't, with the Gulf Stream running as hard as it is, it probably won't take too long for it to, it's not gonna make it flat calm by any means, but it'll be a lot better than this. Look at this, it's a whole wall of water there. Then you come up, and you're on the top of the mountain. I could film this all day long, but you guys probably aren't going to see too much of it. It never seems to come out. All right, that's it for now. Just beyond the halfway point was the infamous Diamond Shoal at Cape Hatteras. Now, this is a lighthouse that I've gone by a million times in my job, but I've never been able to get this close to it because of the draft we draw. So it's kind of cool getting right up there. Right after we got up there, too, all of a sudden, I mean, we were just right there, and all of a sudden, fish on! Wait, no. And we got this female. Mahi or Dorado. Some people call them dolphin. You can tell the males from the females. The males have a real blunt head, and the females have that sloped head going back like that. But Crisalida cleaned it up. Then after that, she wanted to do a photo shoot. And as odd as it is for me, if you have a beautiful girlfriend, I guess these are some of the concessions you have to make. So up to the bow we went, and she did pretty well. Okay, I don't know if this is going to come out. Sometimes the shutter speed and the frequency of the monitors mess up here. But this is us. We're coming up the Jersey Shore here. And this is a good opportunity to talk about wind, apparent and true wind. So if you look down here, it says that we're doing 7.1, almost 7.2 knots. And down here in the corner it says TWS, that's true wind speed is 8.1 or whatever, and then true wind angle. True wind angle is almost right behind us. So if we're doing 7 knots and the wind is blowing 8 knots, why don't we have the sails up? Well, over here I have my apparent speed over here, and you can see the apparent wind speed is only 1.7 knots. And so what that means is, the example I try to tell people that don't understand this stuff is that if you were in a car with no wind at all and you drove 60 miles an hour and you stuck your hand out, you'd feel 60 miles an hour of wind against your hand, but that would be apparent wind. That wouldn't be true wind. The true wind would be 0. So in this case, we're doing over 7 knots. There's 7 knots of wind speed behind us. So there's only about 1.2 knots of useful wind, which is definitely not enough to hold the sails in shape. So that's how true and apparent work. Okay, so we're coming into the Manasquam Inlet. We've got 962 miles since we been on terra firma, and it's a little rolly. That's why they have this inlet here to break it up. But we're gonna go up here. Like I say, I think we have enough fuel to go all the way, even if we weren't sailing. And the wind is starting to get good for sailing right now. But I'm gonna feel a lot better going through the East River and Hell Gate and all that, knowing that I'm not stirring up the bottom of the tank any more than I already did going bang, bang, bang through the heavy weather that Crisalida that I went through. So anyway, we're gonna get fuel here, and who knows, maybe New Jersey has cheaper fuel than Rhode Island or Connecticut. So I don't know that. All I know is that it's probably gonna be about $1,000 to fill up. But I'm so proud of Paquita. She's done well. I can't believe that I ran, you know, I got almost 1,000 miles on running the engine almost all the time. Having said that, go ahead and film the show. Having said all that, we had a huge boost from the Gulf Stream that definitely extended our mileage quite a ways. And we also did a little Okay, so we're in Manasquam Inlet now. So now everything's getting good. Nice and no rolly action anymore. So now we just have to find our way up to the dock and spin around and get some fuel. So once we do that, we'll talk to you then. Unfortunately, we came through New York Harbor and the East River and Hell Gate and much of Long Island Sound in the middle of the night, so there wasn't a whole lot to film. But anyway, when we got all the way up towards the race in Long Island Sound, my buddy Runa, you may remember Runa from, he helped sail the boat with me down to Puerto Rico, and then he and Rebecca, who they both helped me sail the boat from Puerto Rico to Florida. Well, they're on their boat, or I shouldn't say that. Rebecca has her own boat, but she's on here with Runa and another friend of theirs, James, on their boat, and they were over at Orient Point on Long Island, and they were coming back just before we were getting into where we're going. We kind of had a little rendezvous. Now, before we do anything else here, I should let you know that Runa and I have a running joke, and that's that he's of Norwegian descent, and so of course I call him a squarehead, which is what they used to call all the Norwegians that worked on tugboats in New York. But I also used to make a lot of jokes about him eating herring, you know, sardines. And unfortunately, he likes almost every food, but he can't stand any herring because he says his mother made him herring so often. So sardines and herring are a running joke with us. So
but it won't be done for another hour or so.
Maybe you'll see what we have going on here.
Okay, so I'm on autopilot. Just maintaining this. Okay. So Rebecca.
Nice to meet you. Yes. Nice to meet you.
I told her we had to take pictures to send to Ian.
Oh, I just sent one.
So do you guys have plans for tonight?
Not really. We were just going to Fisher's, but I mean, we can head up your way.
Well, Fisher's is really cool. Have you been to the little bites there?
I've never been.
There's a if you want, we can go. There's a really cool anchorage. Or there's a couple of them, but on the side there, like there might be a couple of boats there now, and at night they all leave, and it's protected.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What's it called?
I'll send you a pin on your phone.
Okay.
All right. Don't crash into me.
You're gonna get your Garmin all twisted up in the ground.
Down collision. Brace for impact. Old Mother Goose is looking good.
I'm gonna jump over.
No, you don't do that.
I'm good at that. I did it a lot. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was so
That's
I'm
I'm off the thing.
Oh! There you go. Nice. Oh, you have something to pass.
Yeah, I gotta give him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just pushed you away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. You know, just push me away.
I know. Pushed you away.
Yeah, this is not a.
This is underway replenishment.
This is your welcome.
It's a little scarier than. You might want to come back here.
Yeah. So that way he can swing the stern in on his way
Swings
out.
out right onto him.
This is your welcome home gift.
Oh, thank you.
Specifically passed by our captain.
Oh, nice. I hope I have some sardines. All right, here we go.
Ready?
Yep. Nice, perfect. All right.
Woo! Watch out.
All right, you're good. All right, good job. So, if you want to go to Fisher's Island, and we can go. What speed do you usually make? We got a fair tide right now.
What?
What speed do you usually do under power?
Oh, 5.5 or so.
All right, so I'll do like 6 to be a little bit ahead of you, so I can get a spot, and you just follow me along.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Look forward. Thank you.
Documentation with the opening.
Okay, we'll do that.
Welcome home.
All right.
Okay. La cámara aquí para nosotros. Ella quiere nosotros. ¿Qué es eso? What's this? Oh ho ho ho! Sardines and medalla! Woo! And more sardines. Oh! Oh, and chocolate.
Sácala por mí, no por
Yes. ¿Tú no te gusta el pescado? A mí me gusta mucho. Thank you. I can't believe you're giving up those wonderful sardines. I love you, man.
Well, I hope you really liked that video. It was a fun trip up. Not the greatest weather, but it was great to break Crisalida in this way. And thank you guys for coming along. Be safe, and I'll see you on the one.